Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I have a vowel heavy rack and I'm looking at ways of getting rid of some of those vowels. Donny for 19 is one option. Odeon for 19. I think I'll go with... This does create a hotspot under GO. But, yeah. Just want to look at the possibility of the C. What about canoed? For 18. Yeah, I think I'll go with... Odeon. AE is a better rack leaf. Okay, it's a little bit better, but clunky. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have the X. I do have the Y, which is quite handy. He does have the X, typical. That backfired. Yowie for 34. Ilex is good, but not seeing fantastic plays down onto the double. What about buy? No, 33. Yowie 34, yeah, I'll go with this. Little closer to bingo territory. No longer have an I for Ilex. But I really did need to get rid of some vowels there, I think. Looking at 5-letter plays ending in EH. That's no longer available. I do have... what do I have? Bon, but weak. Or just maybe bar, 35, good rack leaf. Does take an N for 39. I think I'll keep it on the rack and use it as a hook for next turn as a possibility. What have I got here? Don't think, is there a bingo here? This is one of those racks which looks like it might make a bingo, but not seeing a bingo here. And not seeing any great candidate plays either. That's a shame. I need a floater to work with. I don't think there's anything ending in IC. Arsenic plus an A. Yeah, not looking good here. $25 destroys the rack. Maybe just play off the A. And then no doubt I'll pick up another A. That's a really strong rack leave. Opponent taking some time with this move. Okay, he has played. Do I just play off an A? For 4. I don't know if I do that. No, I think $25. Oh, barn is, it's BHAN, I think. I think I will just play off the A here. Or maybe I was thinking of AA there. Wow, what to do? Actually, I think I might go with AI here for 14. Ilex takes an S, which I have. Yeah. I draw the Y. Carnies, I don't think. Carnies, I don't know if you can spell it like that. I do have crane here. Crane, carnies. I don't think cornies can be spelled like that. Yeah, it can, okay. Agatizes through, well, from the A. Cornies, agatizes. Or do I keep the blank and just looking at plays which end in Z, not seeing any, even using the blank. Any other Z hotspots? Saz here. Is this worth keeping the blank? Probably is. 47. 47 versus 84. Wow. It's a tough call. What about tis? Then I can keep the Z. I mean, I can keep the S and the blank. Yeah, I think I'll go with tis. Okay, that's not a bad pickup. Courages from the sea. Or what about scooterager? That way I can score a little bit more. Courage. The G doesn't get doubled. What about a GE ending word? Causage. No. No, not seeing. Scooterager is scooterager like that, 70. Or is it scooterager with an I? I don't want to leave the blank on there anyway, so I'm just going to go with I was thinking of playing a bingo ending GES, but then it just gives a big playback to opponent. I'll go with courages. Invades, wow, that's a lucky pickup. But is this the best place for it? Might be the only place for it. No, it plays here, but that's a 9-timer opportunity. Invades, I think invades. Yeah, that'll work. Invades for 85. Not a bad pickup. I have the T for list. I don't think there's a bingo here. I have the town component of a word, and I have anti-prefix, anti-worm, no. Actually, the anti-prefix does work there. I have want. Oh, wait, there's an R there, but I've got an R on the rack, so that won't help. Yeah, this looks alright. Want. Reti through an R. Oh, look at this. That would be fantastic, but I can't see that R remaining available. Helps to learn your 5-vowel 8s, because they do crop up more often than you'd think. Look at that. Managed to get it down. And I draw the Q with the U, so the tile gods are obviously smiling down for this particular game anyway. Can't seem to play through the E of revolt. I have quip, but I'm not sure I have another Q play. Opponent might deliberately block that spot if he identifies it as my only Q option. I don't have souk from an S, and yeah, I just don't see another Q play. I have park getting the K tripled. There's no QI spot on the board either. Yeah, it looks like I might well be swallowing the Q if opponent blocks this I. Oh, he doesn't block it. That's good. And I don't think I have a Q play onto the S. So quip it is. And opponent's likely to go out. And that's the end of the game. Thank my opponent for the game, and 525 to 339. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning, and it was my opponent who opened with Kogi. He also had Ogmic. Odeon seems fine for 19 with the AE rack leave. Worst case scenario was the X, and opponent capitalized on the Gox play with Lex. Yowie, that was my play. Way. Okay. okay, slightly better. Equity very similar, so not a lot in it. Pret for opponent for 37. Where was that? C9. Plex and Pret. Very nice. He went with remet, scored well too, 35 points. Bar for 35, but Habanero. Wow. Habanero onto the O of Koji, or Kogi. Yeah, that was a miss. I have seen the word before. Pled for 27, opponent went with lead. And after mentioning the word arsenic plus an A, I didn't contemplate extending it onto the L, but look at that. Not a word I knew or possibly would have identified even if it did cross my mind. Arsenical. Wow. Because arsenic sounds like the adjectival form already, but then AL at the end of it. Arsenic. No, arsenic is actually... No, that's a noun, so it should be able to take the AL for the adjectival. So that actually does make sense. Nice find if you spotted that, well done. I went with AI, which is a long way off, but won't beat myself up for missing arsenical. AI sorted the rack out nicely, which is why I went with it. Uphurled. Okay. Sorting the rack out somewhat. For 28, opponent went with dupe. Now Carnies for 85 and Senari for 69 at B3, making Ya. Carnies scored well though, 85, and then Doe for 45 was opponent's play, highest score. Agatizers I did identify, but I thought that's a pretty good rack leave for 47 points. Equity was only slightly below playing the bingo. The other thing I noticed was agatizers left an E here, which makes for an easy scoring spot for opponent, getting a high scoring letter on this double letter here. So that kind of swayed me as well towards retaining the blank for a bingo on the next turn. But not much in it, as the equity scores show. Few are for 45. So I went with Tiz, yeah. And then few are for 45. Opponent went with Frug. Now, puselages. Wow, look at that. Through the C and the L. Yeah, not a double-double, but wow, look at that. Through two disconnected floaters. Fumages for 75. Just looking at the plays. Yes, getting the G doubled. Fumages, tubages. I did get the... I just decided not to play down here because... yeah, it left such a hot spot down below. So a few points less, and I went with Courageous. Fovea for 33, Oaf for 37 looks fine. Invades for 85 at 14B was best. And then Bevel for 30, H1. Yep, that scored well. Opponent went with Revolt. Also sorted the rack out, got rid of a lot of consonants. Waitron. that is a big miss. Across the top of courages. That's a word I've played before, and I really shouldn't be missing these high probability words. I must be rusty. So I looked at the letters and I thought, why do they look so familiar as a set of 7? And this is why. Okay, a bit disappointing there, but Want scored well for 44, and I guess also took out a bingo lane, a hot bingo lane as well. Stilb, that's not one you see every day. I think Stilbene is good as well, with E-N-E at the end. Opponent went with Mill, and then I got my 5 vowel 8 down, Reti. Bet-ons for 30, tabs for 31. And then I had the Q to work with. I thought opponent would block my only Q spot. I think it was the only Q spot. Park was the other one I identified, but definitely better to get rid of the Q and the P. And then opponent went out with Naos. So, pretty good game apart from missing Waitron. Yeah, it flowed pretty nicely for me, I must say. Some games do. Some you're on the receiving end of that of that fortune that your opponent sometimes is blessed with. But yeah, that's the game of Scrabble. Sometimes you get a great game, sometimes you got to work a lot harder. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.